Mr. Wynsma, the city manager or village manager of the village of Lansing. You've been at it now a few months. How's it going?
Well, it's going pretty good. It's a lot, but it's exciting. I'm loving being here. I'm loving being a part of the village of Lansing, that's for sure.
Talk about the state of the village. What's the state of the village of Lansing like right now?
The village of Lansing, I think the word I would use more than any is probably momentum. There's a lot over the last 3 years, 3.5 years that has been done, I would say, more to stabilize Lansing. Now we're in the process of actually building momentum. We're developing a tremendous professional staff that is going to carry us forward. We got a lot of momentum there that they're helping us to build and to generate. We've been working on a marketing plan to brand us. So we're building momentum. I think that's the word I would use to describe the state of the village right now.
Talk a little bit about what's happening with the village, may I say, management. What's the state of the village in that regard right now?
You know, you say stay home. Of course, my wife wishes I would stay home every now and again. But the process of managing all of that, it's really about developing a team of true professionals who have the, not only the technical expertise to do what they do, but who have a genuine passion for what they do, who love Lansing. We got folks in, our public works director has not been here that long. He's only been here a little less than 2 years. So it's just a fantastic leader. You mentioned our communications and IT director, Fabian Newman, who, I was brought on a couple of months ago. Fabian is just a genuine leader. He knows how to manage projects and take the lead with those things as well. The building commissioner you mentioned, TJ, is just another piece of that puzzle.
What's happening with that? Do you feel bullish about the state of the building department and permits and permissions and all of that right now?
Similar to what we were talking about before in terms of stabilizing momentum. That's really the case with the building department. Lansing, unfortunately, we don't have a great reputation for having a real customer-friendly building department. TJ is going to change all that. He understands what it is that the mayor and the village board and myself, what our vision is. We want to have the most customer-friendly building department anywhere, and we want to be the most technologically advanced building department anywhere. So,
and why are those things important, Jay?
They're directly related to the quality of life for our residents, and they're making investments in their own properties. If someone is interested in investing in their own property, that should be as easy as it possibly can be. They should be able to get their permits, get their inspections, and make their investments in their property.
There was a recent, I guess we could almost call it the town meeting or community meeting, related to this CMAP plan. There's a big comprehensive plan. Can you talk about that a little bit, what that does mean right now and what that might mean for the village?
Think about a town like Washington, D.C. George Washington, there was a plan for Washington, D.C. What you know today is its iconic hub and spoke and those things. Those were planned out. In this community, over the years, plans were made and developed, and the decisions that were made then are binding on all of us today. In an older community like Lansing, where we don't have a bunch of vacant land, you would think, well, maybe those decisions have all been made. But that's not really the case. When you think about in the downtown area, you've got the old Fox Point site, which is a large open space. Well, what should happen to that? When you think about things like bike paths and where they run to and from, all of those things are all part of comprehensive planning processes. It's important that we do this now. Lansing hasn't done a comprehensive plan since the early 90s. We're excited. We got fantastic consultants on board. We got a grant for $100,000 to fund this study.
So it's not taking Lansing taxpayer dollars to make this all happen?
Not a single Lansing taxpayer dollar to make it happen. Thank you to the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning.
We haven't referred to the airport, but that's one of those big silent things over there that does belong to the village. Where is the airport related to all of this economic development or big plans?
The airport is an enormous asset. I say frequently Lansing has 3 things that most communities wish they had just one of. You've got a traditional downtown, you've got a major interchange with a major interstate, and an airport. Any town would be thrilled to have one of those. Lansing has all 3 of them. Most people are surprised to learn, for instance, that the footprint of Lansing Municipal Airport is larger than the footprint of Midway Airport. The potential for it to be an economic engine is pretty significant. It's a perfect destination for corporate America to, house their aircraft there. You've heard the stat that, a dollar that's earned in a community gets turned over in the same community X number of times. Similarly, that kind of economic development that the airport generates has the same kind of an impact on the community.
Kind of as a last word to the residents right now, February, State of the Village, what do you want to say to them as the city manager or the village manager about the state of the village of Lansing right now?
I would encourage our residents to be optimistic. Optimism is contagious. And optimism, it encourages your neighbor to invest in their property. It encourages fellow business owners to invest in their property and in their business. We have tremendous infrastructure, tremendous assets. The bones are all here. They're in good shape. Over the next few years, as we flesh this out, this is going to be an exciting place to be. It's going to be a great place to invest for your residents. It's going to be a great place to invest for business. I would encourage people to be optimistic.